Hey everybody, that's right, welcome back to episode 58 of the Bowfishing Buzz, brought to you by AMS Bowfishing and
Megamouth Bowfishing as well.
What's going on, Schmitty?
It's getting to be that time of year. We've been saying that for a while, but we really are getting to be that time of year.
That just reminded me of the song that's ever so popular here in Wisconsin during rifle season when you said it's getting to be that time of year.
I'm going to shoot that 30-point buck.
Yeah.
How did it, oh, they say it's getting to be that time of year?
Getting to be that time of year, Clyde.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep, Clyde. What a name.
We
should remake one like that. We should sing it, and it should be something about that.
Remake one of the for bowfishing like that.
I'm going to shoot that 80-pound buff. We should. We got an idea right there. We can make one pretty good.
That would be pretty cool.
That would be
we'll
funny.
have to do that some night when the fishing is slow and we're
Yeah.
back at some bait. Sometime just write down the lyrics for it.
Yep.
I'm gonna shoot that 80-pound buff.
Yep. We could debut it. We could sing it on the podcast.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Oh, Schmitty, I've got a lot going on here,
Yeah,
and
you
you're gonna be busy back at the shop, but I want to be on the road. I'm gonna be busy.
Your travel season is starting this week.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. But first, to start things out, Derrick, a couple weeks ago, I took the wife out bow fishing.
Mm-hmm.
And I got to go in Josh Knutson's brand new custom airboat.
I saw those pictures. That looks
Yeah.
beautiful.
Made by John, built by John Hubble from John's Custom Bowfishing Boats.
Yep.
Man, what a ride.
Yeah.
That thing was just so smooth and slick and just,
Pretty nice.
it just slid right across that water, that shallow water, and turned on a dime and
Nice.
quiet, you know.
Real quiet.
Quiet.
Okay.
Oh, it was awesome.
So did you guys wear hearing protection while you're shooting at all?
Oh, heck no.
Really?
No,
Wow,
no.
okay.
No, usually you don't.
No.
I've
seen it. I've seen people, have it on.
I'll put them on sometimes
you're-
when we're going to get up on pad.
Gotcha. Okay. Gotcha.
But no, when we're shooting, it's quieter than running the fan on fan
gosh.
boats.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
It's
I've never been on one.
quiet.
That's
It's
cool.
It's really nice. Really nice. Really nice. And Julie doesn't do a lot of bow fishing,
Yeah.
but she got in a workout that night.
Is she?
She was exhausted.
She was shooting some fish?
Oh, yeah.
That's awesome.
We shot some fish.
Don't say how many. Just wait. Everyone who's listening, in your head, just make a mental guess of how many fish Matt, Julie, John, and Josh was with you.
Yeah.
Just make a mental guess in your head how many fish you think they shot. Okay? Get it?
In a short time because
Think
we
of it.
didn't find the fish till later on.
Okay.
I mean, I have a video of I don't know, it was like at 12 something.
Okay.
Where I swung down to the deck of the boat and into the pit of the boat, and you could see the bottom of the
Oh, yeah. You showed me
ribs,
this.
and you could see the bottom of the boat and stuff, and you could see there's maybe 35 carp in there.
Sure. Yep.
But from 12:30 to 1:30-ish,
That was the money time.
Oh, we got into them.
Okay. So everyone, make your mental guess. You've got your number and reveal.
301.
Woo-wee!
Yeah. When
That's
we found them good.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was a lot of fun. And the funny thing is, so John built Josh's boat, okay?
Yep.
So I met John at his house. We hooked Josh's boat up because Josh lives a couple hours away.
Yep.
And he was going to meet us at the boat landing.
Oh, I
and
got
then
you.
swap
Okay.
vehicles, and he was going to take the boat home, okay?
Nice. Okay.
So we got to the gas station. We were putting in gas, and I said to John, John, where's your barrels? Oh, he says, Josh is bringing them.
Uh-oh.
So we're at the landing, we're waiting and stuff, and Josh pulls in, and we're getting ready to put the boat in the water and stuff, and Josh goes, oh, man, he says, I forgot the barrels.
Uh-oh.
He's like, well, what better way to break in the boat than just throw them in the pit?
So this was the maiden voyage.
No, it was out on test runs to break in the motor and stuff.
Gotcha. Okay.
But this was a maiden voyage for shooting.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. Yep, this is a maiden voyage for
Cool.
shooting.
Very cool.
Yeah. And the wife she does not like late nights and stuff like that there, and I think we crawled into bed at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Okay.
Yeah. And she got a workout.
Yeah.
She had a good time.
Good deal.
She was struggling a little bit in the beginning,
Sure.
when we started getting into fish and stuff, but we pointed them out, and the fish were just laying there, and we let her take her shots and stuff, and pretty soon she started getting a little more accurate. I bet she shot around 25, 30
heck
carp.
yeah. That's awesome. Good
Yeah.
for Julie.
Yeah, she had a good time.
That's
it was a
very
lot of
cool.
fun.
Yeah.
A lot of fun. A lot of fun to be on that. And as you can see right here, Schmitty, we've got some.
Yeah, what the heck is
some
that?
bow fishing lights right here.
Yeah.
Okay. This right here is a efficiency bow fishing light.
First off, just
What a
Coming
name.
from a marketing background,
Exactly.
that name gives me goosebumps. You guys
So,
might be thinking,
it's not efficiency like you think it is.
yes, it's not what you think. It's literally spelled E-fish-N-C.
Yeah.
It's amazing. It's amazing.
It's
efficiency.
Good. Yeah.
You sent me the name of that, and I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
wow,
It's pretty cool.
that's
And
awesome.
so Josh's airboat had the efficiency lights on it.
Mm-hmm.
First time I ever shot with them. Really cool.
Okay.
Really neat setup. Very compared to our boat where we have 14 lights on the front of our boat.
Yep.
All right. I think Josh had 6
Oh my
on his
gosh.
front deck. He had 2 on the side and 1 each side in the front, and then
Comparable light as far as what our 14 would be? I mean,
Yeah.
was there a noticeable difference? Was there not as much light? Was it equal?
well, and that's what we're gonna get into because we're gonna have Christopher James
nice.
as our guest on today's podcast.
Yeah.
Who came up with the efficiency of bowfishing lights.
Sure.
Here's the thing I really like about this, Schmitty.
Mm-hmm.
Made right here in Wisconsin.
That's
in the
awesome.
USA.
That's very cool.
Bowfishing lights, LED lights.
Yep.
It's really cool.
That's very cool.
Lights have some really cool features, controls that you can control the lights, the dimness. And I'm not going to get into it all because we're
We'll
gonna
let him dive in.
We're going to let Chris dive into
Sure.
it. But that's going to be our special guest this week. So
Cool.
it's going to be a good one because it's going to be really informative about these lights.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, the thing I like about them, man, they're made right here in the good old USA, and especially right here in our home state,
Right in it.
Schmitty.
Yep.
Good old Wisconsin.
Good old Wisco.
Ooh,
Very cool.
yes. So, Schmitty, what do we have this week for a promo code for our listeners?
Yeah. So
We've got a great deal again.
I will say these promo codes have been going very well.
Yeah.
We appreciate you guys using them. I'm sure you guys appreciate getting them. So we're just going to keep feeding them
Right.
to you guys. All right.
Mhm.
So the promo code this week is for our Chaos XL Arrow.
Right.
All right. We're just going to give it to you. Discount code XL20.
What does XL stand for, Schmitty?
XL stands for extra length barbs
Bingo.
on these points.
Yes.
All right. If you compare our Chaos Arrow, which comes with many of our, combo kits, we sell a ton of 8203 whites. They're a fantastic
on the
arrow.
bow kit.
They're on the bow kit.
Yeah.
Yes. That's our Chaos Arrow.
Right.
And then we have our Chaos XL. The only difference is that those barbs are extra long
Right.
for extra holding power. I don't know. I forgive me. I don't know the exact numbers off the top of my head as far as how much longer.
You got a
the
half-inch
XL
holding power.
A half-inch extra of holding power.
Right.
Gotcha.
Right.
I know there's a couple videos of you, Matt, showing is you and Kaylor Kramer, I
Yes.
think.
Yeah, with that
And there's a
buff.
video, and you have that because when you're out shooting and things are happening, it's nighttime. You don't necessarily have the time to sit there and go, "Oh my gosh, look at this!
Right.
That's crazy." But you had an arrow through a fish.
Yeah.
And you back those barbs up to the back of that fish. Oh my gosh, it is crazy how much holding power those 2 barbs,
Right.
only a 2-barb point,
Right.
have on that fish. It's wild. You loosen that tip, pull it right through.
Tip style turn release.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. And I'll show that video in the video portion podcast of this. I hope I get it done. I hope I get the video portion of this done because I got to leave tomorrow for
Oh, that's right.
Tennessee.
Yeah.
But let's give them the code here, Schmitty.
Yeah.
So-
The code was
XL
20,
20.
which is 20% off a Chaos XL complete fiberglass arrow.
Bingo.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Go use it. Go get some. Put them to the test.
It's
You'll
like
see what we're
$21
talking
for a
about.
bowfishing arrow.
Yeah, of a high quality,
Yeah.
well-made, machined right here at the shop.
Made in the USA.
Made in
baby.
the USA bowfishing arrow.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. We should get Trump on here.
It's the best arrow. AMS bowfishing. Totally good.
Make America great
If you hear they're wrong, it's wrong. Fake news. They're amazing. Oh, you want to tell everybody what you're going down to?
Yeah,
tomorrow?
I'm leaving tomorrow afternoon. I'm heading down to Tennessee for the Bass Pro US Open. I'm sure there's been a lot of you guys that are out scouting already. I hope you're finding fish. I hope you have good weather. And I hope that you're staying safe out there because bowfishing tournaments are made to have fun, find fish, be with friends.
Yep.
And then when you go to the event, you're seeing more friends and
Growing your
community.
your
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yep.
So yeah, we're gonna be there. I might swing by the Kentucky Lake area and pick up Dennis Redden and bring him down with me to the Bass Pro Shops there. We're gonna have a booth inside there with a bunch of AMS products that you can come by and buy.
Yeah.
And the only problem is Dennis might have somebody coming down to pick up one of his
his dogs.
his deer tracking dogs.
Yeah, sure.
His Bavarian Mountain Hound.
Gotcha.
He might have somebody come down from Ohio to get that dog on Saturday, so he might not be able to make it, but I'm hoping that he can make it with me down there. And then I'm going to stay down there for a couple extra days and just spend some time down there with Dennis.
Oh, that's awesome.
We might go bow fishing. We might just go regular fishing if I still know how to do that.
Yeah.
Yep. So, yeah, and then I have to leave Wednesday, come back, catch up on some work, and then I got to shoot in the WBA tournament on Saturday, which is going to be not this Saturday, but the following Saturday when I get back is going to be on Castle Rock Petenwell.
Oh, okay, yeah. Tournament. So you're leaving tomorrow, Thursday. Yes. You're going to be coming back next week, Wednesday, shooting a tournament that Saturday.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Yep. You got all kinds of stuff going on.
Yeah, it's going to be back into the old swing of bow fishing.
Yeah, that's cool.
Getting excited for that.
That's how you know there's starting to be fish to be shot around here is when Matt starts being gone.
Yep. Another thing that I wanted to touch on here, Derrick.
It is interesting just reading this, yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. So at the spring meeting this year at the Wisconsin Bowfishing Association, they wanted to come up with ideas on how to get more people that don't shoot tournaments to show up at tournaments. All right? They might be intimidated, all right, by the teams that are shooting. They might be intimidated by the boats.
Sure.
They just might not think about shooting tournaments because of that reason.
Right.
So we wanted to give these guys and teams a reason to come to these tournaments, to experience the tournament atmosphere, to get out there and shoot in the tournament all night long. And go back to weigh-ins the next day. All right. So what the WBA did is they started what they call a hobby class. Okay. No airboats are allowed in a hobby class.
Okay.
It's only $20 per person to enter. So you have a 4-man team, $80.
$80 for the team.
Right.
Yep.
That also includes you into the big fish category and also the wild card, which they draw at every tournament.
Oh, okay.
And it's like a side pot.
Sure.
You can win side pots on that as well.
Yep.
Okay. Now, instead of it being a big 20 for these teams, it's a big 10.
Yep.
All
Gotcha.
right.
Yep.
It's a big 10. All right. So the WBA had their first tournament this past Saturday down at Mud and Chubb, and they had 11 teams.
Oh, nice.
That entered in the hobby class.
In the hobby
tournament.
class. Okay.
Yeah. Yep. And I think they had like 8 of those teams came back to weigh in.
Okay.
The other 3 didn't come back to weigh-ins.
Sure.
But if you think about that, 11 teams. Well, you put 3 people on those teams. That's 33 new faces.
Right. Yeah. That maybe wouldn't have even done it in the first place.
Exactly.
The tournament. Yeah.
Exactly. So I think that's a really cool idea, and maybe something that other state organizations can possibly throw into their
That's very interesting.
Tournament, because we're always looking at getting new people out there, and like I said, some people are intimidated, but this is a great way to get them to come into this tournament atmosphere in this hobby class division.
I'll tell you what, Matt. When I first started working here 6 years ago, me and a buddy of mine, we were in high school. We went and bought a little John boat, and we put lights on it, and we had this little boat, and we were shooting. I shot more then than I do now, hands down. Like, we were just sick for it. We'd go out and shoot all the time.
Yeah.
I remember one night he asked me, he says, "Oh, what if we started shooting tournaments?" And I remember thinking to myself exactly kind of what you're just explaining. I remember being like, "Whoa." I'm like, God, I don't know.
Right.
I'm serious. I'm just like, I don't really know. I feel like we'd embarrass ourselves. We'd come in with not many fish, or our boat isn't set up like everybody else's is, that's not what people aren't, at least I don't think people are going to a tournament and going, my boat's so much better than theirs is over there. Look at that little thing. I don't think that happens. That's not something that goes on with bow fishing. I think everyone's just happy that there's people there. You might have
fish. A handful of people.
Of bad apples that
normally
are judgmental.
You're going to meet a lot of cool people.
Yeah, but just to shout this out a little bit, if there was a hobby class 6 years ago for me and my buddy who were just kind of green getting into the sport, that would have been maybe a easier entry into the tournament scene.
Exactly.
So that's just an example of how that could be. And we never ended up shooting tournaments. We ended up selling the boat. We don't do it as much anymore. Him and I, we're always doing it for work, obviously.
Yep.
And we ended up not shooting a tournament. So that is an exact situation where maybe that could have been 100% beneficial.
Right.
So, yeah, it's kind of cool.
Absolutely. And, I'm sure a lot of these people that are younger teams or people that shoot together, kids, they're probably seeing a lot of this on social media. They're probably looking at the WBA website, looking at the tournaments, but they're like you.
Yeah, exactly.
But this is a great reason for them to come and experience it.
Yeah.
So I'm really, that's a pretty cool deal that the WBA has right here for that.
Yeah, very cool. Shout out to them. That's nice.
Yep, absolutely. I'm going to take my headphones off here, Derrick.
Uh-oh.
You start talking because I got something I'm going to do.
Okay. I have no idea what this is. Video portion of this podcast ought to be interesting. Oh boy, what do we got going here? Oh, he must be getting warm. Oh, we're throwing it back big time here. For the audio audience, Matt just ripped off his long sleeve shirt. He's got a white short sleeve underneath it, and he just put on a jersey that I can only assume was maybe from 1954. No, it's not that old, but I am curious what year that's from. It's pretty sharp looking. It's pretty sharp. What does that say? AMS Bowfishing. Bowfishing products for serious sportsmen. With the old logo.
There you go.
What year is that?
2009.
Oh, wow. Okay, we're throwing it back. Is that the first jersey AMS ever made?
Yep, this is the first jersey. Yeah, right here. Got the old scale pattern on it. Got the website on the side of the sleeve here. Yeah.
That's pretty cool. What are you shooting down the right sleeve?
Yeah.
Nice.
Got a silhouette of right there.
Do you know who that is, that silhouette?
Yeah, I know.
Oh, okay. Okay. Gotcha. We're going to keep it a secret? Oh, it's Matt. Oh, okay. Gotcha. You got your own jersey. Very cool. Throwing it back. Nice.
Throwing it back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I just had a quick throw because I didn't remember. Last week, the jersey that I had on last week was from 2016.
Okay. Gotcha.
All right.
Yep. The blue one, the bluish color.
The blue one, yeah.
Yep.
And I said I might wear my original jersey. So I had to pull it out.
Yep.
I like this.
Nice. Mm-hmm. Just for reference, doesn't mean anything. I was 12 when those jerseys came out. But yeah, that's cool. That's cool.
Yep. So, Schmitty, I have a question I'd like to ask you.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
If you could go after just one fish and one fish only, what would it be and why?
Like for the rest of my life?
Just say for this year, you could only go and shoot one fish or one specific species of fish. What would you go after and why?
I'll be honest with you. I've had a lot of really cool experiences shooting fish.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and I feel like I don't want to answer this because I feel like it might be a popular answer.
Yeah.
Like, oh, Derrick, if you could only hunt one more thing for the rest of your life, what would it be? Like white-tailed deer would be my answer. That's going to be
this will just be for this year.
For this year, I'm going to have to go with buffs.
Okay.
Buffs. Like last year with that buff spawn, a couple of my experiences as far as shooting fish, the buff spawn has been those days are so ingrained in my brain.
Really?
Oh, God, they're just wild. So as much of a common answer as it would be, if I'm being dead honest, it had to be shooting buffs.
Okay.
Would be
Very
my
cool.
answer.
Very cool.
Well, let me return that back to you.
Okay.
For this year, if you could only target one fish,
yep.
What would Matt chase after?
Big heads.
Big heads.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Mm-hmm. And what you said
cool.
before about buffs, it's just the memories that you have are just etched in your head and your memory bank of going after buffs and stuff like that. That's what's etched in my memory is the river.
Sure.
At nighttime.
Mm-hmm.
No generator. No lights. The moon. Hearing the coyotes yipping and yapping in the background.
Yep.
Hearing fish explode on the surface that you can't see.
Sure.
And just the solitude of the hunt.
Yeah. Yeah, that is a good point.
Floating down the river, and it's just so peaceful of a style of bow fishing.
I will say I like the atmosphere, and like what you just explained, I like the atmosphere of chasing after big heads more than I do buffs.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the action and the chaos that can ensue with the buff spawn is what would lead me to choose the buffs.
Exactly. And that's what I like about the big head hunting is you might swipe the light 15 times without seeing a fish.
Right. Sure.
And you're just like, swiping. That's like, what's that movie? Dora the Explorer.
Dora.
Swiper, no swiping.
Swiper, no swiping. Yeah, that's what you told me the first time I went down shooting big heads. You're like, Derrick, stop swiping that light so much. I told this on the podcast. I remember shining one and being like, Matt, look, a big head. Oh,
where'd he go? He's gone.
He was there, and you're like, that's because you held your light on him for 10 seconds. You burnt him to a crisp.
And that's what I like about never knowing what's going to be. It might be a big old long-nosed guard that you pop your lights on, And that's what I like about the big head hunting. And then going after some of the bigger ones where you might only see 5 a night.
Sure.
Yeah. It's thrill of the unknown. It's
more of like, I guess, like you say, the big heads, which you have obviously encountered with. That's more of you're trophy hunting there.
That style.
That style. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let me counter with this as a question for you. Okay, Matt Schillinger's out on the boat by himself. Okay, he's on this body of water is just, it's got a hell of a fish tray. All right, so you're going along. You got your 1976 jersey on.
Only 4 then.
You're bopping along. You take a look to your left. Somehow you're able to tell. You look over. Holy cow! Here's a 85-pound buff swimming towards the front of the boat off the left side.
Yeah.
Okay. You're getting ready. You grab your boat to draw back. Oh my gosh! You look over to your right side. Here's a 50-pound common on the right side of you.
Yep.
You're like, oh my gosh, what do I do? Next thing you know, you look up at 2:00. Up on the surface, here's a 90-pound big head.
Okay.
They're all converging on you. You look up here. Oh, my God, 7.5-foot gator gar. What's going on? This is wild. You look up in front of you again. Here's a mako shark swimming straight at you. So you have those 5 options.
Holy cow.
They're all of the trophy class. They're all of – the weights will be different, but they are all equally as big of a trophy in their given class. Take out the mako shark. Let's just go big head, buff, common, and
you said gator gar.
Gator gar. Okay, so you've got those 4 converging.
Yep.
Which one are you shooting? You can only shoot one. Which one are you going to shoot?
I'm shooting a gator gar.
You're shooting a gator gar.
Yes.
Okay, I was just curious if you would have stuck with the big head thing, but the gator gar is a little bit more of a.
I would shoot that because all those weights of the other fish that I have one bigger than that buff that you said.
Yep.
Common, I'm really close on the common.
Okay. Yep.
And
what'd I say, 50?
50.
50, yep.
50-pound common is a big common.
Oh, God.
It's a tremendous common.
Yeah.
I think I shot a 40, mid-40s out in South Dakota.
Okay, yep.
The big head, what was that big head again? 82, was it?
82.
I
can think of 82-pound giant big head is the name of a podcast.
But I don't get down to the gator gar areas very often,
okay,
which
sure.
I would like to. I'd like to get back down to some of those, and to shoot a gator gar of that size, I think would be unbelievable. I got to get a hold of Robert Blackburn and go down with him, I think.
Oh, yeah, you should.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
That'd be very cool.
Yeah, he sent me a picture yesterday.
Yeah.
Of some big old gator
What
gar.
in the world?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was crazy
I
looking.
need to go out with him and get on some of them.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so you'd pick the gator gar in that situation.
In that situation, I'd probably go to pick the gator gar.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
But if you only had to target one, you'd pick big heads.
Just because of the style of the
I was
hunt.
just curious if that varied. That's interesting. Yeah, you don't get to chase gator gar as much as you do big heads. So
right.
Yep. That's cool. That's very cool.
Mm-hmm. Yipper. Well, what is next on the planner here?
I was gonna. Do you want me to? We want to keep going down the planner here, or we want to give them a call? Because this next one, I'm just gonna read exactly what this says on the.
We've got some time here. The only reason that I wrote this down for something to talk about there is because on Monday you called in because you were not feeling very well, were you? Did you have a little bit of the little bubblies in the stomach area?
I think we had a little get together for a family member the day before, and I think I maybe ate some food that was a little bit tainted of some kind because boy, oh boy,
was she a bubbling brew?
Oh, it was bad. That was bad. That was one of those driving home where you're like,
oh boy,
this is not right. This is not right. So that's okay. So that's enough. That's enough about that. But I was out Monday. I was not feeling good.
So was it from food or was it from a little too many Old Smokies?
Oh no, there was no alcohol consumed at all. I swear to that. It was.
Right.
It was. There was chicken, brats, and burgers, and I don't know if it was a brat or a piece of chicken. I don't know, but it came so. It was so hard and fast, and then done with. 16 hours later, that's the only thing I can think of.
Stomach bug.
Yeah, just like a quick little something wasn't right. Your body got it out. Now you're back ready to rock and roll.
Did you spend all day Monday getting it out because you didn't come to work?
Monday, I was probably back to normal by maybe 2:00 on Monday. Was the last time I had to visit the Oval Office. But after that, I was pretty good. And then yesterday I'm totally fine.
Yeah,
I was totally good to go.
All right.
But okay, that's good Lord. that's enough of that.
Well, I thought it was time to tell a funny story, so that's why I put this down on here.
It is good.
It kind of remind you being gone and having that issue and money reminded me of this here little story. So and I think we should.
we pretty much with these podcasts, Matt. We pretty much just bring up and talk about whatever we think of.
Oh, hell yeah.
It's not super scripted. We think if it was too scripted, it wouldn't sound good. But we do have a general basis of stuff we want to talk about. So on the bottom,
it's time for a funny story.
On the bottom of our little list right here, I'm just going to read exactly what this says. Okay. So we just talked about everything we talked about. Next on the list, this is what it's written down as. Matthew tells story about the Gunnersville poop situation. I was reading through our show notes yesterday, and I'm like, okay, yep, we're gonna do that. Bowfishing lights, yep. What if you only target one fish? What you do? Matthew tells story, and I'm thinking, about big fish. Da, 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 da. Matthew tells story about Gunnersville poop situation. Okay. So with that, Matt, why don't you tell us about this poopy situation?
All right, let's get into it, because I think it's time for a funny story, a funny bowfishing story. And I'm sure there's a lot of other fishermen and bowfishermen that can relate to this story too. All right. So this is back, we had the F&F boat. We went down to Jeff Nibel's shop there in Tennessee.
Yep.
And he was putting the wrap on the F&F boat, our first wrap.
Yep.
Our second wrap, I think, on a bowfishing boat. So we went down there to pick it up, and I thought, well, as long as we're down here, we might as well do a little bowfishing, right?
Yep.
So I took down Corey Tobin from work here. I took down Timmy Boy.
Old Timmy.
Sawyer Taylor.
Yep.
And me.
Gotcha.
All right. So we were going to do a little filming when we were down there. So we were going to go to Gunnersville.
Sure.
I want to go and shoot me a big grassy. All right. So we stop and get the boat, do all that stuff, take pictures of the boat and stuff, go drive down to Gunnersville, get a motel, get something to eat. Now it's time. It's getting towards dusk. It's time to head to the boat landing.
Sure. Yep.
Right. So we're at the boat landing, and we're getting everything ready. We're putting up the filming platform. We're putting up the backlights for filming wise. Yep. We're getting the camera stand up in there.
I think I can envision the footage of the night of shooting fish. I think I can remember back to the footage what it looks like. So yeah.
And that was when we had that longer catwalk platform on the top, where the camera guy could walk to the back of the boat, to the front of the boat. So we're putting that up. Extension cords, like I said, for the backlights and stuff. It took about 25 minutes. Start taking the straps off for the boat. Start getting ready to put it back in.
Yep.
We're getting ready to pop it in the water, and I'm like,
Are you guys pretty far out in the boonies at a boat landing? Or
I can remember seeing a gas station a couple miles away.
Oh,
all right.
Okay, still that's not.
And I'm like, okay, it'll go away. You know? So we're getting ready to back the boat in the water, and I'm like, oh boy, this is not good. And now I'm doing what I call the old TP shuffle. The TP shuffle. I'm clinched up, man. So I'm like, I don't want to move. I'm afraid to take a step, Schmitty.
So the second gurgle is what got you worried.
Yes, that's when everything just tightened right up. I said, fellas, I says, take that stand down, take them lights down. We got to go to the gas station right now.
So you just set everything up. You're taking it all down. Now you're taking it all down.
I didn't touch a thing. I stood there while those guys did everything. I just stood in one spot.
I can just imagine you.
Yep. So that's when I did the old TP shuffle into the truck, got in the back seat, and I says, drive and take it right out of the boat landing.
Oh, my gosh. Oh, my God.
So we get to the boat landing, or to the gas station down the road, a couple miles down the road. I go in there, and that was like, remember that movie Dumb and Dumber?
Okay, yeah. Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh.
Was it? Yeah, when Harry was sitting on there, and he's, that was me in there. It was unbelievable. So the other guys are waiting in the gas station. Yep. They come in to get some drinks or snacks or whatever, and they're sitting there in the gas station. And I remember Corey told me saying, and the guy that was behind the cash register, he started walking around the inside of the gas station, and he had a sprayer, and he was
Shut up. Come on. Oh, my gosh. A couple of Wisconsin boys came down and polluted his gas station.
He did.
Oh, my Lord.
But I did. I felt just like Harry. Sitting in the Oval Office.
So there was,
oh my gosh,
there was no repeat episodes after this one.
Nope.
Oh, well, at least that's good.
I don't know if I had some food somewhere like what you did.
Yeah,
where it just instantly just
it had to get
hit me right now.
Yeah,
and it just turned my insides out, you know?
Yep.
And yeah, Tobin said that guy was walking around spraying a little sprayer as I'm in there. I just thought it was time for a funny story, so I thought I'd throw that in there.
We probably have a alarmingly a lot of poop stories to tell. I don't know why. We probably do, though.
I don't know why. I don't think there's nothing funnier than a good old fart.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So with that,
yeah, let's give Christopher James Schmitty a call right after this break.
All right.
Why I Bowfish. Hunting fish with a bow. Non-stop action. Never slow. By day, by night. Great shots. Great fights. With family, with friends. Trash talk never ends. And kids, they love it. If they miss, think nothing of it. By foot, by boat, by board or canoe. How you do it is up to you. Aim low. Shoot fast. Watch your shadow. Watch the grass. Shoot carp, rays, or gar. Shoot 'em close. Shoot 'em far. Stout arrow. Barb tip. Retrieve a reel. Let it rip. Bowfishing. Give it a shot.
And welcome back to the Bowfishing Buzz. It's efficiency time.
Yes, it is. Let's give
Chris a call here, all right?
There's actually a lot of questions on here that I am very interested in hearing the answer to. So this will be cool.
Hello, this is Chris.
Hey, Christopher, this is Matthew and Derrick over here at the Bowfishing Buzz. How the heck are you doing today, man?
Oh, hey guys, I'm doing good.
Awesome,
Good to hear.
I usually ask our guests, how's the weather in your area? But since we're both in Wisconsin, I guess we kind of both know what that is.
Yeah. Yeah, we got a little sun.
Yeah, we got a little sun. It's been
good.
cool out here a little bit, but hopefully it starts warming up, Chris, so we can start getting out and doing some damage on these carp out here.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, agreed. I'm looking forward to that.
heck yeah, you bet. Well, Chris, we're just going to start out here with some questions, and let's start rocking and rolling with you here. When did you start bow fishing, and who got you started?
Okay, so I got started about 8 years ago, and I'd always been an angler my whole life, and since I was 3 years old, I've been fishing my whole life, and then I've been down at my favorite fishing hole, and I noticed there's getting to be more and more carp and stuff around there. And I had a friend of mine, Brandon, that kept begging me to get into bow fishing with him, and I just never really thought about actually doing it. And like I said, I was down there in my favorite fishing hole one day and trying to catch some bass during the peak of the season, early May, and then there were just carps everywhere. I couldn't catch nothing. And I just said, you know what, I'm going to try to do something about this. And then me and my buddy Brandon got together and we started bow fishing. I put the fishing pole down and picked up the bow fishing bow.
Oh, there you go.
I've been at it ever since.
All right. That's really cool.
Yeah,
that's really cool.
Very cool.
That reminds me so much of kind of what I did when I first started bow fishing. I'd get out here on the Big Old Plain flowage, fishing for crappies and walleyes.
Sure.
And in the back bays, I saw these carp.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, what are they doing? They're all over the place. They were spawning, of course. I didn't know that really at that time. And then that's how I kind of got into bow fishing. So that's really cool, Chris.
Yeah,
really cool.
That's very cool. Mm-hmm. So let me ask you, Chris, what type of bow fishing lights did you start out with when you were shooting fish?
Okay, so I started shore fishing, and then obviously it wasn't long before I was out on a boat. I had to get out on a boat, and so I was looking for lights. I had a small Lund boat, and then I just kind of got whatever lights I could get my hands on, and it was started out with HPS lights, and they're real big ones, and I of course needed a generator, and so I got myself a good Honda generator, and that thing, it was just they were 600 watt lights, I think, so they were pretty high wattage.
Wow.
So I started out with HPS.
Okay,
gotcha.
All right,
interesting.
It's so funny. When I built my first bow fishing boat, I went to the Fleet Farm here in Marshfield.
Okay.
And I bought some 500 watt halogen work lights.
Okay, sure. And
we put them babies on. We were looking at 500 watt halogen work lights. I think my generator was like generator 5,000.
Oh,
That thing weighed like 250 pounds. I couldn't even lift that thing in the boat, you know? It was crazy.
Yeah, it's a big one.
Yeah, no kidding. Yep.
Yeah, kind of what it takes to run them things, you know?
Exactly. Yep.
But
So you're out there bow fishing with your HPS lights, Chris. When and why did you decide you wanted to investigate designing and building a new light for bow fishing?
all right, so one day I was out there going across the lake, and it was just really loud, and we were on a pretty highly populated lake,
Okay.
and there was people that weren't too happy with me being near them, with the noise and the lights blasting the houses and stuff like that, and one day I was going across the lake, and I hit a good rogue wave and lost one of the lights right off the boat.
oh wow.
And I was like, okay, well, I got to do something about these lights, So that's when I started trying to, see what I could do if we could get, maybe even get rid of the generator. That's when I started looking into ideas and concepts and just starting prototyping
Sure.
the concept of basically ideas that I had,
Okay.
and trying them out. And it's, one thing at a time. And I haven't shot over any other lights since then besides the ones that I've created.
Oh, no kidding. Wow,
on
that's cool.
my own boats. I should say I've shot over other lights, but not on my own boats.
Sure. Okay. Really cool.
Sure.
So you were out there, and were you taking like notes and writing notes down about what you like, what you didn't like, and stuff like that too, Chris?
Yeah. And, one of the other theories that I had about, trying to find a way to get rid of the generator was I had a theory that maybe the fish might be a little, might have better opportunities, being silent,
Right.
Might be able to get up on some of those bigger fish. And I did notice the behavior change when I was able to do that.
Oh,
Very interesting.
mhm.
Very interesting.
Very interesting.
Yep.
That's cool.
Because not only the loudness, but you got that vibration.
Right. Yep.
And that
Right,
that vibration is going through the water as
Right.
well.
Yep.
It has to.
Yeah.
It has to.
Yeah.
That's very
Really
cool. So, Chris, efficiency. Who came up with that name? Because it might be the best name I've ever heard for anything. Just the way you break it out and have it spelled E-fish in C. Like, who thought of that? Because that's amazing.
Yeah, I thought of that.
Really? Cool.
Yeah, I was just, driving down the road one day thinking about this thing. My mind was, consumed with this technology, and I just trying to figure out ways to implement it. And then I was like, okay, well, I just got to thinking, what am I going to call it? And I got hung up on that, for a long time.
Yep.
And I was just driving down the road one day, and it came to me, and then I said it, and then I said it again. And I was like, that's it.
That's
Wow.
perfect. You knew right off the bat.
That's really
Right,
cool.
yeah, it's gotta, I'm sure one of the reasons why you guys probably like it is because you understand that it's got kind of a multifaceted meaning.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
Yep. Really cool. Really cool. That's a sweet name for
It is.
bow fishing lights that
Yeah,
are
I thought
efficient.
so.
Yeah. Yep.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. That's really cool. So, Chris, your lights come in a tricolor. Can you tell our listeners what that exactly means?
Yeah, so the tricolor is basically it's got multiple color options that are built in that are controllable by a controller that lets you adapt to the different water conditions.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, so it's got a higher white and like a mid white and then like an HPS simulant color. And one of the reasons why we ended up on a multicolored light like that is because in all of our testing and R&D and everything, we tried to find a one-size-fits-all for colored light for all water conditions, and we didn't find that. So that's why we decided to implement multiple colors. We feel that it's a pretty good feature to have, the ability to adapt.
Absolutely.
Like that on the fly, yeah.
Exactly, because for my style of what we do, we're doing a lot of filming, okay? I filmed under HPS lights. When you look back at that footage, it looks like you're shooting in hell.
Oh,
I mean, it's like a reddish, It's just reddish, and it doesn't look good on film.
Right.
But
Exactly, yeah.
and that's what's cool about, your lights. You can have that option if you're shooting tournaments. Okay, maybe you're in some stained water where you want that, that HPS color
Right.
looking light.
Yep.
Now you can switch to that. Now we're out filming somewhere. Now we could change it to a more yellowish or a whitish light.
Yeah. Yep.
You know, so that's really cool. And same thing like you're saying for bow fishers. They can change those colors according to where they're shooting, water conditions, and even on a certain body of water like the Mississippi River, that water, Chris, can change from one area to 100 yards or even less down the river. It can be dirty and stained to pretty darn clear, So
exactly.
Yep, really cool feature there, Chris.
That's cool.
Sure,
That's cool.
Sure.
So, Chris, lumens is always a big word you hear people talk about when it comes to lights. Can you explain lumens and how your lights handle lumens?
Yeah. So you're right about that. You'll see usually when you see any kind of a light, for sale in a store or something like that, light bulb or anything like that, you'll always kind of see a lumen rating.
Yep.
Whether it be HPS, halogen, LED, metal halide, whatever the technology, it usually always has a lumen rating, and that's just basically a measurement of the total light output of that particular light source.
Okay.
It doesn't say anything about like the reflector or the lens or anything like that. It just how much light is coming from that particular source that is detectable to the human eye.
Okay.
And then how efficiency handles lumens is it basically utilizes as many as possible to do work for us while minimizing waste as much as possible.
Oh, okay, I gotcha.
So it's got a twofold approach. So it maximizes the lumens into the target zone. So that's one feature there, but it also at the same time happens to address the waste factor as well.
So would you say, Chris, if you're in Menards and you're looking to buy some light bulbs, would you say that lumens rating can be kind of misleading? Just on a basic light bulb or some kind of light that you're looking for? Is that not always the best way to go off of what to purchase?
Right. Yeah. Maybe not so much as the ones like on the shelf at your local hardware stores, but like a lot of the Chinese ones that you'll see on like say eBay or like Amazon or something like that, coming pretty much directly from China through a distributor or whatever. They'll generally, the lumen rating will be directly translated from the wattage, and it's generally 100 lumens per watt. So if you see a 100-watt light, so like if you see a 100-watt light, they'll say that that's about 2,000 or 10,000 lumens generally. So you just take the wattage and times it by 100, and that's so. But it's not. It's kind of a slippery term because you'll have a higher Kelvin light will actually make more lumens at the same wattage as a warmer colored chip.
Right.
So you'll have quite a bit less lumens in a warmer variant of the same wattage.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
And one thing that you're doing with your style of light, Chris, is you're trying to take the lumens and put them where you want them to go.
Right. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. That's pretty much what efficiency is. Yeah. The pinnacle of the efficiency technology is about putting the light where we want it, and it's as least as possible where we don't want it.
Right.
Essentially.
Yeah. If you think of a light bulb with that lumen, when we're shooting fish, we don't want lights shining back and to the side. We all want it like what you're doing. We want it right in that target zone. That's a very unique feature that you've thought of there, Chris. Hats off to you. That's very cool.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Yeah.
And Chris, wattage is another thing that you hear mentioned a lot when it comes to lights. And I thought this was really cool on your efficiency lights here. Explain the wattage ratings on your lights and why that's beneficial.
Okay, so the efficiency lights are maximum 65 watts.
Wow.
And I say maximum because they are actually variable wattage with the dimmer control. You can actually dim them all the way down to 8 watts if you want to, or anywhere in between, all the way up to, again, 65 watts. And so the benefit of having a lower wattage light, it opens up the possibilities for different power sources. It's more adaptable to a current power source that you might have. Say you have got a generator and you're running a trolling motor with converters and stuff like that, and it's kind of loaded up. You've only got a little headroom. The less the wattage, the more likely that system's going to work with that current generator. And it could mean the difference between having to buy another generator or a bigger generator. But not only that, but it also opens up the possibilities for running silent on battery with no generator at all, or even alternator battery combinations like that.
Because like I said in the beginning, I went out and I bought 500 watt halogen lights. Well, you buy two, that's 1,000 watts.
Right.
So think about,
some of those are actually even a little higher. Like when you actually put a meter on them, you'll actually see some are even using a little more, like a high pressure sodium 400 watter could be pulling 450 watts.
Exactly.
From the wall. So,
and your lights up, you can turn your lights all the way down to 8.
That's wild.
Sure. Yeah, and we actually do that. Like if there's a spot where there's lots of houses and you don't want to be disruptive, you want to sneak in there. You can, if you have say you have a battery or say you got a generator running running the efficiency lights, and you can have a battery in parallel, and you can actually kill the generator and go on battery and turn the lights down, sneak into there, get your fish and get out of there, and then crank everything back up again.
Yeah, how cool is that?
Yeah, that's very cool.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah, really cool. All right, so Chris, efficiency lights come with a centralized controller. What does that controller allow the user to do with your lights?
Okay, so the controller ties into all of the lights in the system. So it's basically traditional lights. You run power to it, it's on. You disconnect the power, it's off. Well, this is efficiency is actually a bowfishing lighting system. So they all tie together to a central controller, like you said, and then the controller itself has the ability to turn the whole system on or off. And then there's the dimmer control there that will actually allow you to dim in real time, up and down, like we talked about, all of the lights simultaneously the same time. And then also there's the switch for changing the color on the fly on all the lights simultaneously as well.
These keep getting better.
Well, there's also a voltage readout on there too, so you can digital voltage reader, so you can actually see you can monitor your state. Say if you're on battery, for example, you can actually monitor your resting voltage so that you know where your state of charge is just at a glance.
Yep.
That's very cool. That's awesome. You kind of touched on it there, Chris, but you want to explain, can you wire them up to batteries or just generators? Do you want to touch on that a little bit?
Yeah, so they're very versatile in that regard. They're a DC light, but you can run them on generators. A lot of people are familiar with like Power Max converters, and all they are is an AC to DC converter. So like if guys want to stick with their generator, say they want efficiency lights, but they don't have the money, they want to go silent, but they ain't got the money to do that right up front, they can keep their generator and run up to 18 of these things off of one Power Max.
Right.
Yeah, and then they can do that as an upgrade down the road if they want to, but they can accept a wide range of voltages from 12 to 24 to 36 volts as well. DC.
Nice.
Yep. Very cool. And just getting back to that centralized controller, Chris, the user can put that anywhere on his boat. He can put that up by his stick, up by his fan stick, up on, anywhere on the front of his deck where he can control it instead of having to go back by the steering wheel or something like that. There, he can put it wherever he wants for better use, so he can do that right away.
Yeah, we do some custom mounts for people in house here. A lot of our customers have some requirements for that, and we're kind of helpful in that regard. If they have a special spot they need it mounted, like we've done mounts where they mount right on the troller shaft for their trolling motor. So so that way you have the ability to control the troller. You got boat control right there with the trolling motor, and then you've got light control right there as well. So you can flip that color right away. You can dim them up or down. Like sometimes you'll have the fish, they're little light spooky some of them nights, and what we like to do sometimes is we'll find them with the higher white, and then we'll kind of, if they're spooky, we'll flip them down to that, the warmer color, and even dim them a little bit, and that'll usually let us get us close enough to get a shot off on them.
That's some great features on the efficiency lights. I mean, like you said, Derrick, it just keeps getting better and better.
As this goes on, I'm
really
like, wow,
cool.
These could be a game changer here in the industry. That's very cool.
Yep.
So Chris, American made, that is freaking awesome in itself. Yeah. Are there any other features you would like to mention? And where can people find more information on efficiency lights?
So we do have a couple accessories available. One of them is the protective light shroud or cove that we call it, a light cove. Basically, it's a heavy gauge aluminum housing that the light can mount, and it basically allows you to get it for mostly flush deck boats and stuff like that, to get it positioned optimally on your boat, and then it also protects it so that it won't get damaged or anything like that. If it takes a hit, the light won't be taking the hit. It'd be the cove itself.
Oh, okay. Sure.
Yeah, and then we've got other accessories that are being tested right now that are coming as well.
Very cool.
Yeah, and then if you're anybody listening looking to find any additional information, you can go to our website, outdoorinnovationsusa.com. There's some helpful info there. Our contact info is there. You can call me up. I'd be more than happy to answer any questions you might have. And there's also a lot of good info on our Facebook page too, Outdoor Innovations USA. Check that out. We're always putting new content up there too as well.
Absolutely.
That's awesome. Very cool.
And another thing that's really cool, Chris, is you have a lot of videos out there as well, which I think is very helpful when it comes to this type of product. I watched one of your videos out there where you set up your light, and on the other side you have a 400 watt HPS. And not only do you show it how you hook it up and the wattage differences and the lumen and more was a wattage differences, but then you also went out on the water and you had a drone flying above you with just those two lights on.
Oh wow!
And it's really neat to see the differences between the two. Very close.
Yeah.
Very close.
Yeah. That test that we did, I announced that we were, going to do it before I actually did it. And I was like, okay, well, what did I do? Did I shoot myself in the foot? Am I going to make my light look real bad here or what, But, I think it held its own pretty darn good.
Yeah, it's really cool. But you got a lot of very informative stuff on your website. Yeah. So if anybody wants to go there, I just typed in Google search efficiency lights. But otherwise you have the outdoorinnovations.com also. And you also have a lot of stuff. USA. There we go. Yep, there we go.
You got to get that USA in
Absolutely,
there. Yep.
Absolutely. And you also have a YouTube channel, Chris, also?
Yeah, I do. Yep,
okay.
That's right. And it's the same, Outdoor Innovations USA on YouTube as well.
Gotcha.
That's where you can find that video you just mentioned as well.
Okay. Yeah. All right. And this was not planned. I just called Chris here a couple days ago and asked him if he wanted to be on the Bowfishing Buzz podcast.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
He said, "Yep, I'll be glad to come on there." And now today I'm looking on social media, and for the Bowfishing Association of America, they run auctions to raise money for the World's Tournament. All right, and the auction that's up today is you donated some lights to them, Chris, and everybody's bidding on your lights right now. So if you want, you can go to the BA Facebook page and you can put a bid in. I think you got 4 lights on there, and the value is at like $1,300 or something like that is the retail value on that. And you can bid for a chance to get to buy some of these lights that you have out there.
How perfect is that?
Yeah, that's right. I mean, now's the time to get a good deal on some.
That's right. That's right. I mean, it's just so funny that we have you on our podcast, and then I see that on the BA website today.
Yeah, that's cool.
Pretty cool.
Yeah,
pretty cool.
Yeah. You'd be surprised how much work 4 lights can do.
Right.
There's small little lights. You'd be amazed.
Yep.
At
absolutely.
What 4 little lights can do. Yeah.
Yeah, because I was shocked when I shot off of Josh's boat a couple weeks ago, and he had 2 on the side and 1 on the front. and then another one on the front, and then 2 more on the other side. And that was really, I remember looking at them like, wow, this isn't going to be enough light. But it was.
Sure.
It was more than enough. And then the cool part was we got back into some of that dirty water, and he's turning that, the tricolor and stuff, getting the different colors. And it's really cool when you're just sitting there stationary and you got some weeds down there that are pretty close to the surface, but yet they're down there and it's dirty, muddy water. And when you can adjust that tricolor and you see a big difference of how far down you can see.
Really?
With those different light patterns. Yeah. Yep. It's really cool.
Yeah, for
really
sure.
Cool stuff. Really cool stuff. Well, Chris, I know you are a busy guy because you're building these yourselves.
Yeah, that's very cool.
You're building these
pretty
yourselves.
much as we speak.
Absolutely, absolutely. And we're going to let you get back to work because I know you're a busy guy. But,
sure.
Man, we want to thank you for joining us here on the Bowfishing Buzz podcast today, Chris.
Yeah, appreciate it, Chris.
Well, I thank you guys for reaching out as well, and I thank everybody out there that's been a big support to us. We really thank you all, and the opportunity, you guys, I appreciate it as well.
You bet. Thank you, and the best of luck with your efficiency lights out there, Chris.
All right, yep.
All right.
Thank you, and we'll talk later, guys.
All right, maybe we'll do another little battle this year for the Wisconsin Bowfishing Association Big Fish again this year.
Oh, yeah. I'll take that as a challenge.
All right. So for people that don't know, okay, so the WBA has a Big Fish challenge, and the first year it was won by help me remind me who won it the first year.
Bill got
Hoyt.
it the first year, I think. Yeah.
Bill got it the first year, okay? Bill Hoyt, and he shot that fish at the AMS Big 20 that year.
Yep.
All right. So Bill won that, but he donated the money back.
Oh, okay.
All right. So last year, Chris, you shot what was the record for that time right here, waiting at the AMS Big 20 tournament also. All right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So then, like 2 days later, I go out and I beat yours by I don't know how many. I shot at that 43. All right. And then like a month later, then you beat me.
Oh my gosh. Leapfrogging each other.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep. It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
But then so at the awards this year, you would have won the $500. But man, I tell you what, how cool is that? You said, no, put that back in the pot and somebody else tried to get that money. How cool is that?
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's just trying to help build the community, and
Absolutely.
get people into it, and give them incentive to get in and do these challenges and do these tournaments.
Right.
That's what we're trying to do,
Yep.
Get people interested in, doing these tournaments. So.
Yep. That's really cool of you to do that. And we're going to let you get back to work here, Chris. American Made Efficiency Lights, Christopher James, man. Thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you, guys.
All right, take care.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
There's a lot of really good info right there.
A lot of good info, and it seemed like we didn't talk that long, but we talked for 30-some minutes here.
Right here, 58 minutes.
Yeah, we talked for 30 minutes. It went so quick because everything. I mean, he knew what he needed to talk about.
You can always tell when you're talking to somebody like that, and obviously a guy like him who's building these lights knows it, but he knows every nook and cranny, every centimeter of that light. He could pick it apart and give you a 10-minute dialogue on it, and that's the kind of guys you want to work with.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. That's very cool. That's awesome.
Absolutely.
That's cool.
So, Schmitty, I got to get to work.
You have you got to edit this thing fast.
I know. So my question is, Schmitty, in the video portion of this here, Bowfishing Buzz podcast, what am I going to put in during the Matthew Tell story about Gunnerville poop situation?
Okay. Knowing you took a GoPro in there and filmed your facial expressions.
I got to find some footage to play over top of that. Yeah.
You're going to have to be creative on that one.
Yep.
Yeah.
But also, if you want to, I'm going to have some video that Chris is going to send me on his lights as well out there. So, yeah.
Just before we wrap it up here, Matt, I just want to let everyone know, too, that XL20 is the code, correct?
XL20.
XL20. That's going to be live for a week.
Yes.
Okay. Live for a week here. Take advantage of that, and that is on our fiberglass shafts only.
Chaos XL fiberglass shafts.
XL fiberglass shafts. So make sure to check that out. Get them in the boat.
Right.
Put them through some fish.
Yep. Another thing that you were talking about on those points there, because you're talking about the holding power on those longer barbs.
Yep.
But one thing that kind of gets overlooked on the Chaos points, not only the Chaos, but the Chaos XL and the standard Chaos and the Chaos QT, is that the barbs that we make here have a double bend in it. It's kind of like an oval.
Yep.
To where those barbs aren't sticking like straight out. You know, they're just put in there and they got that, you know, they got that bend in it. Which the reason that we do that is to create a smaller entry hole for better penetration.
Yeah.
So if you look at our points, you notice that they're kind of have like a little, like a oval close shape to them.
Yeah.
Which is for that reason right there.
And I know just from picking the machine apart, it would be a lot faster for us if we just put one bend on them.
Absolutely.
Because we'd have one set of rollers come in after we cut that barb. We could, but that's important to us. And that's something that only really gets realized from people who live and breathe the sport.
Yep.
So yeah, that's a good point. If you look at that, you'll see that initial bend coming off the point, and then further down the shaft of those barbs, you'll see a secondary bend in there, and that's good to point that out. Yeah, people might not know what that's for.
Another thing is, Derrick, you brought up a good point last week, and I don't say it in our product videos, but I'm going to start saying it on the Anchor QTs.
Yep.
Same thing, Derrick. You know that quick turn, man. I love that. You just turn that shaft counterclockwise, flip that fish off your point, rotate them back down, tighten them down, and you're back bow fishing. But here's the cool thing that a lot of people don't know is those two bodies will not separate.
Yeah. Yep.
They will not separate. So if you shoot a fish, you shoot a common, you bring them in the boat, you turn that shaft counterclockwise, you're turning it.
Unknown caller.
It's not, whoops. We got somebody calling here, and we're going to.
They wanted to be the next guest on the Bowfishing Buzz right there.
Unknown caller.
Oh, that's funny. Okay, anyway.
So those two bodies will not separate because they're crimped.
Yeah.
So you don't have to worry about turning it too far to where all of a sudden, bloop, your top part of your point falls off inside the fish or inside the barrel or something like that.
Right. You will not even be able to unthread. You won't even be able to. It's not like you can just keep turning and hurt your threads.
Can't.
You will not be able to.
Unknown caller.
Well,
this person really wants to be. You got to disconnect your Bluetooth there. He's very interested. But just to go off what you're saying there, Matt, we pin those points back there, the QTs. We connect them to those bodies. Then what we do is we put them in a crimping machine so that bottom ferrule gets, just a slight little divot put in there.
Right.
Which varies from some other similar styles of that point made by our competitors. That's a little something that we do a little bit extra just to keep you in mind so that you're not trying to get a fish off and pretty soon here you come out and all you got is the threads on your ferrule and you go, oh boy,
yep.
Time to go digging.
Just a little.
So yeah, just another little
above the top that we do here at AMS.
We should talk about more of those things, Matt. We got a good number of them. So.
Schmitty.
That was a good one.
What a good podcast.
That was good. I enjoyed that one.
Bowfishing Buzz, episode 58, brought to you by AMS Bowfishing and
Megamouth Bowfishing as well. Oh boy, he's getting into it.
Oh yeah.
He's got that old jersey on. He's rocking and rolling.
I'm heading south, Schmitty.
You are. Gotta shoot some fish.
I am heading south. Good luck to all you out there competing in this year's Bass Pro US Open.
Yep.
Be safe on the water, have fun, find some fish, and just enjoy the tournament atmosphere. I'll be there on Saturday. I'm going up to stay with my good buddy Dennis Redden for a couple days, hang out there.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
So from all of us here at AMS Bowfishing, we wish you the best of luck. Remember, Schmitty, aim low
and think big. Thanks for listening, guys.